Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right in. This is getting into a high inventory market, selling condos. The whole idea of this class is to open your mind up to different ideas on how you can go ahead and promote these condos. If we're looking at our inventory and the market stats, we can see that we have significant amount of inventory regarding our condos and our townhomes. So we want to go ahead and display or talk about the market intel that we have available now. We have some statistics that I want to show you and the activity that you can find right on miamirealtors.com. So to jump into it, right from miamirealtors.com under news, you have available for you the South Florida market intel as well as market focus. I'm going to go ahead and click on South Florida market intel. We're going to play a quick video. It's a minute long and we're able to catch up in a really quick way whenever we need a certain update on the market. So I'm going to play this video.
This is your Miami Market Focus Report for October 2020. Miami total home sales increased 16.5% year over year. Single-family home sales rose 15.7%. Condo transactions increased 16.7%. Single-family dollar volume is up 75.5%. Condo dollar volume increased 19.4%. Total active listings are down 17.8%. Single-family homes inventory sits at 3.7 months, a seller's market. Condo inventory is at 13.5 months, a buyer's market. Single-family homes median price is $435,000, up 19.2% year over year. Condo median price is $268,000, up 8.5%. Short sales and REOs are only 2.6% of all closed sales. Access more information about the Miami real estate market at sfmarketintel.com.
About Miami-Dade. Some of us are in Broward or in different areas. You can simply click on the South Florida market stats and you can review the information that we have. You have Miami-Dade, Broward County, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie. It's broken down into the single family homes in the blue, and you're going to have your Miami townhouses and condos in the orange. Aside from that, I can go ahead and click into Broward. And some of the information that was shared today inside of that video, they talked about how transactions are up. So you can go ahead and you can take a look at our closed sales. Talked about our dollar volume, which is the fourth line. Okay, so in Broward, it's up 41.2%, our dollar volume. Now we can look at our inventory. So all the way towards the bottom, we can see that our inventory is 6.3%. So it's not as high in Broward than it is in Miami-Dade, but if I scroll up and look at the housing market, the single family home in Broward, it's 2.5 months. So it's still higher, it's still significantly higher than the single family home. The idea of showing you this information is that you yourself can discuss it. This is a great marketing tool for you. You yourself can be the market expert. You can use this and create your own videos, add them to your social media, and be able to create that trust with possible customers. If you wanted a PDF report, you have the daily reports on the bottom. You have a combination of summary reports that you can choose from, as well as detailed reports. I'm going to go ahead and click on the Miami-Dade County townhouses and condos to show you. Okay, so here you have that information. This is what those flyers look like. You can download them into PDFs and you have them available to show your customers. Right? And we all are on the same page regarding market activity, and it took just a few minutes. Moving along from inventory, I wanted to pop into Matrix and do some searches regarding condos. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the link up at the top so that you can access your Miami Gateway. And towards the middle of the page, you want to go ahead and access that Miami Gateway. Inside of the Miami Gateway, this is your single sign-on service. We will be working on Matrix today. As I jump into Matrix, I want to discuss kind of what we're going to be talking about. So aside from the market, we're going to be talking about how to show condos like a pro. So I'm going to do a quick search just to pull up some information so we can review our condos. I'm going under search and I'm going to look under single family condos. We're looking for active properties that are condos. We also want to make sure to select that type of property as condo. I'm going to put in a range of price, or better yet, properties under 270,000. And to do that, the trick is just to use that minus symbol to view properties under 270,000. I'm going to look for 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. And the city, we're going to select something close to our farming area. So you'd want to do this in your city of interest. I'm going to go ahead and select Doral and see how many properties I have available. So at that price point with those bedrooms and those baths, I have 42 matches in, let's say, an example of a service area. I'm going to click on results. And this is what I have available. I'm going to go ahead and click on subdivision/complex name. And here are all of the buildings in that price point in my farming area. And I show you this because these are those buildings that you want to get to know. You want to be specific. You want to be that expert in that service area. So you want to know all of the different complexes. And this is a great way that you can begin that research. There's a way that you can go ahead and create something that's called a hot sheet using the name of your complexes. That means that the system itself can go ahead and give you updates on a daily basis of what's going on in that building. Let's show you how to do one of those. Inside of my matrix, you have this section here called hot sheets. To customize a hot sheet, you can go ahead and click on the word customize. Once I've clicked on the word customize, I'm going to go ahead and create a folder of my building so that the system can update me on activity. Being updated on activity is going to help me become that expert in that condo. People want to work with people who are experts. So to go ahead and do that, we're going to click on add. And that's going to give me the choice of selecting my property type. My property type is condo, so I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to go ahead and input one of those communities. I'm going to do Doral Gardens. And once that I've named it, I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And now I have a folder. At this point, it is an empty folder. So our next step is to edit that criteria inside. Now that I'm inside my hot sheet, I can scroll down. I went ahead and I added an additional criteria. Initially, what you have is the ability to input a subdivision name. Subdivision names are perfect for communities, right, where you have different single family homes, but I'm looking for a building. So what I want to look for is a complex name. To add fields, you would simply click on add or remove. You would find complex name in the search. Once you find it, you would click on add. And that's going to go ahead and shift that information into selected fields. You don't have to save it. You would simply click on back, and that'll give you the option to input that information. I normally put names of complexes inside of asterisks. It pulls a better search inside of matrix. Let me put in Doral Gardens. And now that I have my complex name, let's select what updates I want to have. Under change types, I will look at all of them. I want to know everything that's going on in that building because in my mind, I want to corner it. Now that I've selected it, I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And in those easy steps, I can now click on done. If I click on Doral Gardens now, I'll have updates regarding this building. And the system is able to do this for you. So you can take the complexes that you want to focus on and allow the system to do the heavy lifting. I can then look inside of them and preview the information. Going back into my matrix. Up at the top, we have a section called recent searches. I'm going to go back into the 42 properties that I had pulled in Doral. And what I want to do is I want to be able to highlight certain information about condos when I'm showing it. Also, when I'm listing it, I want to think about my demographic. If anybody knows the demographic of a specific buyer that's interested in a condo, you can go ahead and share that in the chat with Maggie. But some of them are newlyweds, students, retirees, young professionals, sometimes people that are getting into property ownership, they'll start with a condo. And there's also people that are just looking for a place to live where they don't have to have all of the additional maintenance work of owning a single family home. So when I'm previewing or viewing properties or showing them, I want to highlight space. So I need access to those condo plans. I want to highlight lifestyle. I want to highlight amenities. And I also want to highlight points of interest. So a great way to do that is, of course, to schedule a preview. Go ahead and schedule a preview, walk the property, view the listing, and be aware of where all of these amenities are. So when you're there, they're going to ask you, how far is the pool from my apartment? What floor is it on? How do I access it? Where's the gym? They're going to ask you these questions. And if you take that extra step to know where it's at, it's really going to take you a long way into building trust with that customer. So let's talk about how I can find those condo plans. So I'm going to click on one of the MLSs, and that's going to pull one of my properties. So let's say I was going to show this property. One of the steps I would do is I would click on my condo plans. Clicking on my condo plans is going to take me to this page, which offers me a floor plan. I also have it as a free view. So I'm going to click on free view. And this is something that I can take with me. This is also something that I can submit to my customer before we go. This is a great way to make sure that your customer is interested in this type of floor plan before you go and view the property. Aside from that, we have additional information. You have your MLS information, its status. You also know the unit number, right? We have our square feet, bedrooms and baths, and parking information. We have our listing price, and it also gives us a valuation price of $229 per square foot. We have our pictures available, and if I continue to scroll down, I can find even more important information, like building information. I'm able to see all of the active listings in this building, building inventory for sale, numbers of sales over the last 12 months, 6 months, and 3 months. You also have a picture of your building on your right-hand side. You, of course, up at the top can download a PDF report. And aside from that, if I continue to scroll down, you have your condominium information. So it's very important that you're able to access the HOA. Very important. Why? Because you want to avoid that frustration, right, of not knowing what the rules and the regulations are, where it is that they're supposed to submit their applications, what the fees are. If you have any additional questions about this condo, especially if you're listing. So condo documents are normally provided by your possible customer, right? Because they are the owner, they received condo documents. It shows all of the rules and regulations and the information that's prominent in your listing. But if they don't have it, if they lost it, this is a great place that you can go to find HOA information. It's important because each condo has different information. If I can continue to scroll down, you see that we have recent sale activities, market information and graphs, and of course you have your average time to close over the last 12 months. Okay, so it's a lot of good information that I was able to look up in just a single click. This section can stand alone. Yes, it's linked to all listings, but I can also run a search and preview additional information. So I can go ahead and click on condos, right? And I can either do a quick search or I can search a county. So I'm going to search Broward. Okay, and inside of Broward, I can look into the city of Sunrise. I can go ahead and choose that building. So this is another great way so that you can see all of the buildings inside of a county. So for example, I'm interested in the Tau. There's 2 towers. There's Tau North and Tau South. So I'm going to click on that and look at all the information that it shows me. Okay, it's available for you in just a few clicks. On the right-hand side, I can actually check or select the specific unit that I'm interested in previewing. If I'm doing research on the Tau North, I'm also able to go ahead and click on all of the active sales as well as the active rentals. If I want to look at both towers, I can simply transfer into Tower South, preview those active listings for sale. And if I scroll down, I have that information for me. Okay, I can go ahead and click on that link and I have my information. So I wanted to show you this. This is a great way to highlight the space, to have building information, to see the assigned parking, and in a few easy clicks, you just want that extra mile. Okay, great also to include it in a listing presentation, to also add it maybe as an attachment for your buyer or inside your buyer folder when you show property. Let me exit out of condos. Okay, and going back into what it is inside of Matrix. Another quick tip that I can do before I go is I want to look at points of interest. I want to know where I can recommend my customer to go eat, where they can go shop, where things are. If you are already familiar with your service area, right, your farming area, then this is going to be easy for you. You already know it. You know what's the best places to go, where they can find information. But if you don't, you have a program that's linked to each listing, and it's called Realist. We're going to go ahead and click on Realist so you can see a neighborhood report. I'm clicking on neighborhood profile. Of course, you have your initial information about the building, but I'm going to go ahead and click on neighborhood profile so you can see the points of interest. Scrolling down, I have quite a lot of information that's available to me. I have the summary, household information. I can move down. It's broken down by gender and marital status. You have housing information, occupancy, right? You have quality of life, workforce. It's divided between blue collar and white collar. I can continue to see household incomes. Moving down, we can see the average household income is 74,823. Commute methods, weather temperatures. Moving down, we can highlight the education. We can explain to our customers where their students or where their kids can go to school. We have information regarding elementary, middle, and high school, as well as private schools. If I keep scrolling, you have your local businesses. So you have available those local businesses. It's also going to give you a description, seafood, restaurants, food markets, and it's also going to be less than a mile from that property. You have phone numbers and addresses. If I continue to scroll down, we can then see all of the areas where they can go shopping. Again, very close to that property. So if somebody's living in a condo, they're looking for an easy breezy lifestyle where things are readily available to them. And this is a great way, especially if you're not aware of the points of interest, this is a great way to see that very quickly. You can print this. If this isn't visually as appealing, it has great information. I'm going to show you RPR if you want a report that has more of a dynamic look. I'm going to exit out of here. Again, all of this happens, all of the tips, they all happen directly from the MLS page. So my next option for you guys is also the RPR property report. So if I click on RPR property report, that's going to open up our RPR system. It's going to immediately link me to that property that I was recently viewing. And if I want a more in-depth neighborhood report that's maybe a little bit more visually appealing, I'm going to go ahead and click on neighborhood. And this neighborhood report is going to give me a summary, housing information, people information, economy information, and quality of life. This is a report that you can do in a few minutes simply by clicking create a report. Once I click on create a report, I'm going to go ahead and select neighborhood report. I have the option to send an email. So of course I can go ahead and send it to an email. So if there's anybody that went ahead and previewed my property and I want to give them follow-up information, a neighborhood report is excellent. If I showed my property and they have information or they want information regarding the neighborhood, I don't want to sway them either way. So I prefer to give them a document where they're able to do, I can provide the information and they can read it, make up their own mind, right? Because our job is to inform. To run the report, I would simply click on Run Report, and it's going to take about 3 minutes to process. Okay, so you have that information as well. If I wanted to do a school report, I can go ahead and go back home, as that it's creating my report right up at the top. I click on Home. Under Schools, I can go ahead, input that zip code, right, of the area that I'm looking for. I can select whether I want to report on an elementary school, middle schools, or high schools. I'm going to go ahead and pick elementary school and click Enter. When I click Enter on my keyboard, it's going to go ahead and show me all of the schools that are nearby. So I'm going to pick a school. And once I have the school available, this is the information that can be seen. And I can simply click Create a Report. Again, you have the option to email it, but I'm going to simply just run that report. It's going to take about 4 minutes, and those reports will be ready. Okay, so you do have them available for you. Let me look under reports. It's going to go ahead and show you that they're being generated. In previous reports that I have created, I want to show you that they all fall on the left-hand side. And if I click on the plus, all of my reports are available to be downloaded. I can rerun the report, and I can also share on Facebook. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and do a market report, share it on Facebook, you have that ability here. And as this loads and it creates, I want to show you, it just stung, so that means that that report is ready. But if you want to go ahead and set everything up so that you have a very nice cover sheet for your different documents, you want to make sure to go into your settings. So if I click on settings, you want to go ahead and upload your picture, upload your logo, fill out your contact information, make sure you have your cell phone number inside, and of course, any additional information like your license number. So once you've created this, when you pull the reports, they're going to look nice and professional. Okay, so I see that my school report has been created. It's 8 pages. Here it is. And I'll have that available for my customer. Okay, it shows all the schools in the area that are elementary schools. It's also going to show nearby properties. Okay, so this is a great way that you can do that additional step of marketing for your customers without having to really take a lot of time. But this information is only privy to you as a realtor. An agent cannot, a customer cannot log into RPR and pull this information. They need you for this information. Okay, so the other one looks like it's still pulling, it's still finalizing that neighborhood report. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the other one just so that you can preview it. So you have the information. It's going to give you your map. It's going to give you your housing information as well. And it's all here for you. Okay, you can take the time to review the information, create videos is a great option using this info. And of course, you can always post it to social media. Exiting out of RPR. Now that we know how to highlight those points of interest, you want to also know the amenities. You want to know the amenities. A great way to do that is preview your listing. Take a second, preview the listing, scroll down, make sure to read your remarks. Okay, so great amenities, gym and tennis court. It's not as descriptive, but you want to take the time to go ahead and read those. You can move down. You have an amenities section as well, and he also included elevator, exercise room, and pool. So you want to know where these things are. Aside from that, make sure to look out for fees, especially if you're selling these condos. So you want to make sure to look out for fees. I want to show you an MLS, and this person did a great job, or a best practice of how to go ahead and use attachments to make not only your life easier, but also whoever's working with you. Okay, so here's the listing. Right up at the top, you have a section for attachments. And this person went above and beyond in making sure that it's very easy for you to find information for your customer. Why? If you're going to sell a condo, there is a section where a person can pull out of the condo due to some of the rules and regulations. Also, regarding pets, who you can and can't sell it to, it's very important that we have these upfront with our customers so we can avoid frustration on our end and also on their end. So you do want to be aware of rules and regulations, pet restrictions, the proposed budgets for 2021, etc., because they can be something called a special assessment. And special assessments are an additional fee that they would have to pay if there's any updates to that condo. So if they purchase that condo, they're now responsible for that incoming special assessment. So you do want to know about that. Of course, your residential info sheet where you can apply. And this person even went out of their way to include an additional addendum. This kind of professionalism inspires other people to work with you, and also it creates a sense of professionalism, and it really makes it a lot easier because other agents are going to ask you this. Scrolling down, you also want to be aware of any types of fees. Okay, so you want to be aware if there's an application fee, the association fee, the maintenance fee, right? If it's being paid quarterly or monthly or once a year. This is information that you want to make sure to always see. Also, another thing, is it tenant occupied? If it is, when will it be available? Okay, so these are great things that you can look at to make sure that when your customer gets there and you get there, you're not blindsided by some of these questions, or you move into your transaction and some of these things haven't been discussed, right? So when you do sell a listing, right, you want to keep these things in mind. Why? Because there is sometimes where a person will be hesitant to purchase a condo because of these things. So maybe the maintenance fee is too high, right? Or maybe that special assessment, and that's not something they are ready to start paying for this year. Discuss it with your brokers. You can always input additional contingencies into your contracts where you can ask if the owner would add a credit and pay for the special assessment the first year or the first 6 months, especially in this kind of market where it's a buyer's market that you can make requests. Worst case scenario, they tell you no. Best case scenario, you saved big money for your customer. And also, if you are listing the property, you can add maybe additional bonuses for other realtors. If you can add that there's going to be a credit of closing costs, or maybe that credit like we discussed about the maintenance fee. These things highlight your property in an additional way that can help you stand out, right? And you'll have those extra out of the box ideas that you need to pull more customers into your market, right? Or into your business. Aside from that, we have refrained from doing open houses for condos. Why? HOAs, they make it impossible. They make it very difficult for us to do open houses. It's, will you get people to come in? Sometimes they're gated, so it's very difficult. But now that virtual showings are something that we use all the time, you have available in your Miami gateway the South Florida Open House Search. This is available for you. This means that you can put your condo right on the market as having open houses twice a week for the entirety of your listing at no cost to you. It also doesn't include any additional time from you, but it is being marketed inside of the South Florida open houses. It does syndicate to all other open house websites, and that is another service that you can provide your customer. So if I wanted to look at this, you can, of course, search by location, date, or price. You can also view all listings, but I'm going to jump into the open houses that are recently going to be happening. And look, people are doing it. We have one going on right now, right? So I can go ahead and click on my virtual open house, and this is available for me to see. This agent has his information available. He has all of his pictures, right, that I can view. Price points, when the open house is happening, 5 a.m. to 11:55 p.m. He went ahead and put it in for the whole day. Bedrooms, baths, and then as it says virtual only, I can go ahead and view that here. Okay, and what did he do? He tied a property website to his listing. So it's very professional, it's very visual. This works great for people who are interested in purchasing in South Florida that are out of state. There's more than 1,000 people moving into Florida on a daily basis. Okay, that was reported by the association. We can also see that he's created a virtual tour. We have our pictures, unit information, so we can see that having those condo plans is very important, and of course his headshot, right, and how to get in touch with him. This is a great way that you're able to provide this additional service for your customers when you have a condo that's very difficult, most are, to do open houses in person. So it's not to say that you shouldn't, right, but it's to say that you could have this option as well. Aside from that, virtual marketing is super important. You want to be able to provide that additional service for your customer. I want to show you inside of HomeVisit that you have that option available. So I'm going to click on here. Sometimes price points for properties can be high. You have that luxury market, but sometimes price points for condos can be on the low end. But it doesn't mean that you can't give them excellent service without having to break your budget. You have something here called HomeVisit. Of course, to get started, you would simply click on Create New Order. And this is going to bring you into all of the options that you have. You can create visual media, property websites, printed documents, or better said, brochures. You can also do direct mail. Why I like this? I like this because it's all in one place, number one. Number two, why I like this. You have this section here called order history. That means all of my marketing information is being tallied up in this system with perfect summary reports of what I've ordered and the money that I've used. I also have access to my print jobs, so it keeps me organized. One of the sections that I did want to mention is going to be under visual media. So I'm going to click Get Started. In order to get started, you would simply input an address. I'm inputting an address because I don't have any active listings. If you have an active listing, it already will populate. Okay, so I'm going to pick, just to move our area around, I'm going to pick a property inside of Brickell. And then I'm going to add my square feet. Okay, and then I'm going to add property. And now I'm able to go ahead and get started. Okay, so as that loads, you do have all of the information available for you. You can do photography, night photography, 3D and 2D floor plans. You also have those condo plans, but we found an easier way to access those at no cost. They're normally here starting at $169. You have video that you can do, aerial that you can do, but I wanted to talk about how not to bust your budget. And this is an awesome thing. I saw request image edits. What does that mean? That means that you can take your own pictures, right? Do your best to take amazing pictures, but then go ahead and have them edited by the system, right? Where they can do basic enhancements for very little cost. And it'll make a dramatic change to the pictures that you have available, right? So this is also an option of what you can do. Okay, I love this. I think this is a great idea for any of those that want to take their own pictures, right? I want to show you some examples. And look at this. This is the before picture of what me and you can take if we're not, excellent photographers, but they can go ahead and update that sky. Okay, and just updating that sky makes a big difference. Okay, look at these images. They can go ahead and brighten that. And it makes a big difference. If everything is virtual or you have a lot of the information virtual, we are visual creatures. We want high quality pictures. This is a great way to do that. Now, we loved the idea of the property website. The property website, if you're going to do a virtual tour, is almost necessary. Like, you need that. And we saw that the property websites can be a little bit expensive, but I got a trick for you. It's inside of Agent 3000. So let's exit out of here, move into our gateway, and let me show you how to do a property website in minutes. This is Agent 3000. We have a 3-part series on this. This is an excellent program. It's user friendly. I've read this. Now, where I want to go is I want to scroll down to where it says single property websites. Mind you, these single property websites are at no cost to you, and all you need is an MLS number. So you would input your MLS. I'm going to input the same listing that in Brickell. So I'm going to put the MLS number A10910275. Okay, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to accept the terms because this is an example, teaching moment. And then look at all the templates that you have available. I'm going to show you the first website. They look great. And we did it in moments. You have available your pictures, your location information, my contact information, property details, right? They can share this, more information, they can contact me, but we're still giving credit, right? So your credit will be here. Another option. Let's look at the second one. They all look fantastic. They're modern, they're easy to use, they're easy to do. It takes you a few seconds. And that customer will be pleased. You know, it does look like you went above and beyond. And you did, because there's many agents that don't know that this exists. Okay, so you have plenty of templates to choose from. All you need is an MLS number. If you don't have a listing and you check in Matrix for okay to advertise properties, you can advertise them without permission. I believe we have a class on Friday regarding okay to advertise. I'm going to exit out of here, right? Go back into Matrix. And what we've discussed so far is HomeVisit. We talked about Agent 3000. We talked a little bit about your South Florida open house opportunities. So now that we have kind of some insight on how we can go above and beyond, let's go ahead and target some customers. So if you want to pull new customers into your business, we can do that using Imap. Okay, so I'm going to move into our Imap section. If I can find, here it is. So Imap is next to your other tax roll services. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And here is my Imap search field. I have tax searches that I can create. To get started, the first thing that I want to do is, let's say I want to target customers inside of Broward, inside of Sunrise. I would simply, to look up an entire building, under property address, I would input that information. So I'm going to put the building address. And now that I've inputted, I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Search. And in a simple search, I've gone ahead and I've pulled all of the units for this building. If I wanted to contact all of these customers and I wanted to create a postcard campaign and target everyone, I can go ahead and create those mailing labels, right? And that'll contact everybody in that building. But we can deep dive. So let's say you don't want to have a cost of per stamp 266 units. I can go ahead, refine this search, and I can get more niche-y, I guess, with my labels. Okay, so how would I do that? I can go ahead and decide to contact customers that are possibly renting. Is I can search for owner occupied equals true. And if I put yes and I press start search, then these 89 people, the owner lives in that property. Okay, so I'll have that information. I can target those people. It could be that this is time that they need bigger space. They're ready for that single family. They're ready to list those properties. Say I want to refine this search again. Instead of targeting the actual owner, I'm going to say no. Right, so it's the same thing. All I've done is the address and the owner occupied, and I put no. Now that I've put no, I'm going to start my search. Who do I get to contact now? Right now I get to contact 177 results, and these people are either renting the property, right? So I can go ahead and click on create a mailing service. and I can choose to contact the occupants, right? And that's a big difference whether you want to contact the investors or if you want to contact the occupant inside of the building, right? So I can talk to the renter. They're already renting there. They probably like it there. Maybe they're ready to purchase. Okay, and that's a great way that you can do that. I would simply customize. I'm going to put current resident, remove any duplicated results, remove any zip codes that are incorrect, select the Avery that I want to use, and simply click on generate labels in PDF format. And the system does the work for you. I'm going to open it up, and here are all my labels. Okay, so we are contacting those owners that don't live in the property. Exiting out, I can go back to refine this search. You have the option of owner is a county resident, owner is a Florida resident. So if you want to contact owners that don't live inside of Florida, out-of-state owners, you can let them know that our market is really hot right now. This is a great time to go ahead and sell your property. And this is basically just the property address, which is the building address, that they're not occupying the building and that they're out of Florida. Okay, and you can go ahead and start that search, and you have two, right? So if you're contacting those, if you're working on out-of-state owners, you can go ahead and niche. You don't have to spend as much, but you can go ahead and get started on some kind of campaign. I would do these for my buildings in my service area. So I'm going to go ahead and do a new search. Now that we have some ideas of what we can do under tax search, I'm going to go ahead and click on the MLS search. On the MLS search, what I want to show you here is that I can find properties that have been expired. Now, yes, you can find properties that have been expired in the MLS. But what's the difference here? The difference here is that I'm going to find properties that have been expired but were never relisted into the market. So they never relisted, but they were interested at one point in selling that property. The benefit is they already have some understanding of what that looks like. And maybe back then wasn't the time, but now it is. And I can go ahead and create a campaign. Inside of the MLS search, I'm going to, of course, pick my property type. We're doing condos, so I'm going to select condos. As far as listing status, I'm going to go ahead and change that into expired, not relisted. And then instead of an address, I can go ahead and focus on a zip code. Well, for those of you who are in Weston. So I'm going to do 33326. Click on Start Search. Okay, and I have 99 results. These are 99 people that had put their listing up, never relisted again. Great opportunity for you to contact them, for you to send them mailing labels, for you to begin a campaign. And this time at the end of the year, the last quarter is a great time to go strong. Okay, so that is kind of how to target different lists, do research, and try to add new customers into your database and specialize in a farming area. We have a few minutes left for the class. I want to go ahead and wrap it up with builders. Why do I want to talk about builders? You can think of builders as sellers. You can think of them as sellers, but these sellers, they do the tours for you. They provide marketing for you. They offer you high commission. This is a way for you to enter a luxury market. You register a customer who's interested in a brand new condo or a brand new development. And aside from that, of course, you can review the documents for your customer. You want to be there with them through the whole step of the way. But most of these places, they also have and include their own financing. So why not use the builders? Leverage them. And we do have two great programs that help you do that. The first program that I want to show you is the builder search. So towards the bottom, you have two. You have the builders update and you have the New Home Source Professional. So I'm going to click on New Home Source Professional. And I want to show you what you have available for you. So under your name, you have access to create my showingnew.com site. Okay, and this is what that looks like. You have this information that's here and it's created for you. You have your popular new home searches that they can do featured in the area. Your customers can contact you. You'll have your marketing information here. And inside of this page, they can actually sign in. They can sign in, they can search for new homes. And when they search for new homes, they have them all available for them. This is basically an MLS of pre-construction properties that are available for you. They have printed reports that they can do. They can also save listings to their own portals that, of course, you have access to. And if I go back into New Home Professional in the area that I was in, under myshowingnews.com, to get started, input your information, add your designation, preview and input that email address, make sure that you have your cell phone number, and go ahead and add your headshot and your logo. You'll wrap it up by simply selecting a background image. We have 2 that are available for you that you can use on your website. You also have the option of choosing from a default image. Okay, so you have that available. It's here. Aside from that, you do have additional resources. Manage your client activity, your widgets. You do have help. You yourself have access to additional guides to helping you sell new home constructions, right? And you want to contact them. So if I search internally under my system, I'm going to have all of those listings available. On the right-hand side, I'll also have information that I can preview these properties. I can contact the builder. We'll have the name of the property, the number of the builder, who the builder is, and I can contact the sales agent immediately. I tried it yesterday. I immediately got a response from that sales agent. You also have additional details that you can view. So if I were to click on it, you have the information below, right? I can request to register a client, and that means you don't have to put down their information. They contact you back. You'll have a discussion, or you can schedule a time to see that property with your customer. You can also save or email the listings and print reports. It's also going to tell you the last time that that property was updated. Moving down, you're also going to have information regarding the community, the neighborhood, maps and directions, and any promotions that the system or that the builder is providing. Scrolling down, you'll have that information as well. You can calculate your route time too. Okay, so how long would it take to get your customer from work to school, etc. And then it'll show you all of the homes that are available in this community, which ones you can move into quickly. I think it's a lot of great information. You can also request to register a client on this side. You also can print reports. So if I print reports, you have an agent version, but you also have a client version. This is what that realtor report looks like, and I can print it out. It's 4 pages. This is the PDF. So here we do have that available for you. And to wrap up, you have the builder's update as well. I logged into my account. I have my map on the right-hand side. I see what's coming soon. If I click on those details, I will have plenty of information that I can give. I can go ahead and save, email, print, or map these. Okay. Go ahead, tour the property, speak to a sales gallery. They'll give you marketing information. Here you have showing instructions that are available for you, a phone number that you can call. You can ask the builder. Don't be scared. It's another opportunity for you. It's another stream of income, right? And something that you can add to your business. But with that, that is getting into a high inventory market, selling condos. Again, we do have additional videos that go into detail about a lot of the programs that I mentioned today. This class was not a beginner's course, so I spoke about different programs that are available for you. But if you want detailed information regarding these programs, you can find recorded classes inside of Miami Realtors Live, but you can also find it on our YouTube channel. Okay, and you have your videos as well as your playlists. So inside of your playlist, we talk about Matrix X, market statistics. We go into new construction portals. So if you want to deep dive into these programs, go ahead and use this resource. You have RPR. So I mentioned a lot of programs. They're all available here. I have the Agent 3000 as well, right? They're in English, they're in Spanish. Here's Agent 3000, right? That you can use to deep dive into these programs if you want to continue researching them, if they were interesting to you. Thank you so much, Maggie, for inputting those links. Have a fantastic rest of your day, guys. If you have any questions, our email is listed in one of those links, trainers@miamire.com. If you want to contact me with any questions, by all means, please do so. My email is christy@miamire.com. Bye, guys. Have a great day.